I've always played DPS in World of Warcraft. I've just been addicted to seeing the big number go up. Big number go up, my brain go brrr. I was always a big pumper in dungeons. But now, I am sick of having to wait 10,000 years for a single dungeon pop, and so something had to change. So today, I'm becoming a tank. I'm gonna be the savior of the champion of people. You don't have to wait 10 hours anymore to go into a dungeon because of me. I'm there for you. If your item level is low, I got you. Low rating, I got you too. Need someone to accidentally pull half the dungeon? That would be me. There is just one problem though. I've never tanked before, which means if you queue into me as your tank today, prepare yourself. There will be overpulling, there will be underpulling, there will be chaos. But that's fine, because today we learn and hopefully, eventually improve. So join me on my journey from a completely clueless DPS player to hopefully a somewhat functional tank. And here we are. This is me, a fresh level 80, 90 warrior protection. And at this moment we are wearing absolute garbage. The kind of gear that would make healers instantly rage quit. So before becoming a complete menace to society, I decided to grind out a couple of world quests and grab a few pieces of adventurer gear. You know, just enough so I don't immediately fall over and die after pulling just 3 enemies. After a couple of delves and daily quests, we were finally able to change out almost every single piece of our gear to adventurer, with a couple of exceptions, but this will do for now. It was finally time. Our very first Mythic 0 dungeon. I decided that the first dungeon is gonna be Saron's pit. After appreciating the views of the place, I made my way to the dungeon entrance and put up a group listing. Naturally, I expected DPS players to flood my requests and instantly form a group. They did not. To my surprise, a healer was the first person to join. The healer and I, supposedly the 2 most sought after roles in the game, then spent the next 13 minutes staring at the group finder, wondering if everyone had suddenly quit the game. Eventually, 2 DPS players joined, and after a few minutes, our final party member arrived, supporting an item level that looked very promising. Exactly the kind of person I want carrying me through this dungeon. 18 minutes later, the group was finally assembled. Maybe all this tank privilege was just propaganda designed to trick people into playing tanks. Before we started, I let everyone know I was a brand new tank, just in case things went horribly wrong. After a quick ready check, we were off. I heroically leapt into the first pack to establish dominance and immediately nearly died. The first moves were educational. Enemies were jumping at my teammates. Someone pulled extra mobs, casters were standing everywhere, poison puddles were covering the floor, and I had absolutely no idea what was happening. I was feeling dizzy. Thankfully, my healer had apparently accepted his fate and somehow kept me alive through all of it. I was definitely feeling a little undergeared. At one point, a gargoyle kidnapped our warlock. I'm not even joking. 1 second he was standing there, the next he was airborne, and shortly after that I watched his body hit the ground. As a tank, I probably should have done something. Unfortunately, I was busy dealing with my own problems. As he politely explained his feelings in chat, we continued forward, and somehow I was actually starting to get the hang of things. Before long, we arrived at our first boss, Forge Master Garfrost, a giant undead blacksmith whose hobbies included throwing boulders at people and shooting them with lasers. The main mechanics seemed pretty straightforward. Hide behind the rocks he throws, drag him close enough so everyone can keep hitting him, try not to die. Simple enough. At one point I panicked because he suddenly turned away from me. I immediately reached for my taunt button, only to realize he wasn't attacking anyone. He was just throwing rocks at my teammates. At certain points, he casts an ability called Orebreaker. As a DPS, I've seen other tanks destroy one of the boulders when he casts the spell on them. Why? I have absolutely no idea, but it seemed kinda important, so I did it as well. Either way, we survived, the boss died, and we got our first kill, along with our first champion item. A successful start. After liberating a few more quarry workers, we made our way to Ick and Crick. As for this boss, I honestly have no idea what the tank mechanic was. To this day, I still don't know. I just know he covered the floor with poison, and I'm pretty sure I placed most of it in terrible locations. I tried keeping him in the middle of the arena so everyone had room to move around while he chased us. The boss died, nobody died, and that's all the information I needed. Just one boss remained, and somehow we still hadn't wiped. After clearing some more trash, we entered the frozen tunnel, which was absolute chaos. Enemies everywhere, ice on the floor, spells flying in every direction. And one particular enemy was facing completely the wrong way, definitely not because of me. Eventually, we fought our way through and reached the final boss. By this point, the healer told me he was having fun, which I think is healer language for I've never been this stressed in my entire life. The final boss, Scourge Lord Tyrannus, was surprisingly straightforward, which was nice. Up until this point, most of my strategy had been press every button and hope the healer is paying attention, and this boss was no different than that. Whenever ads spawned, I picked them up, I kept smashing my AoE buttons, and somehow everything worked out. A surprisingly clean kill. And just like that, my very first Mythic 0 as a tank was complete. No wipes, several questionable pulls, one kidnapped warlock, and a healer who deserved some kind of medal. We even picked up a champion neckpiece for our troubles, a nice upgrade for whatever disaster comes next. Next time we're stepping into Mythic +1. The plan is simple. If I time the key, we move up. If I fail, we move down. Which means eventually I'll either become a decent tank or discover exactly how low a key can go. Until next time.